Greetings and welcome to Circle Sanctuary's Summer Magic Full Moon Circle broadcast. I give deep thanks to Chris for that beautiful flute music to start us off with. And I'm Reverend Judith, and I welcome you on behalf of all of the other Circle volunteer presenters with me tonight. Thanks for joining us. Along with honoring our country's 250th anniversary coming up this Saturday, July 4th, we'll be celebrating tonight's Summer Magic Full Moon Circle with prose and poems, reflections and chants, as well as welcoming back our fabulous bards, Chris, Meren King, and Blackwillow Starling for songs of summer. So welcome one and all. Whether you're joining us live tonight or watching later, we're glad you've found us. It is now my honor and pleasure to introduce our founding senior minister, high priestess, and champion of religious freedom, Reverend Selena Fox.
Thank you, Reverend Judith. And it's so wonderful to be here with all of you. I invite you, wherever you may be watching live, or if you're watching this later, put in the comments, put in the chat where you are watching from. And during the course of our time together, I also invite you to share a type of summer magic that's special to you. I invite us all now to consider ourselves as a circle that's part of a greater circle of celebration of summertime in the Northern Hemisphere at this full moon time. Attune and commune with summer magic full moon. Attune and commune with summer magic full moon. Attune and commune with summer magic full moon. Imagine the power of the summer magic full moon coming down into yourself and being around you as we do ceremony together. Imagine the power of the summer magic full moon coming into this cyber circle. Imagine the power of the summer magic full moon across time, across cultures, across philosophies, faith traditions, and spirituality. Enjoy our time together in this sacred circle. And I now invite Judith to share some announcements.
Thank you, Selena. Throughout the month of July, Circle will be celebrating this landmark event of our country's 250th anniversary with online and in-person events and on social media. For more information, please visit our website and Circle Sanctuary's social media posts. Next Saturday, July 11th, is our monthly second Saturday Volunteers Day at Circle Sanctuary Nature Preserve, where volunteers will continue to work on the upkeep of the land and our sacred sites, as well as our green cemetery and the infrastructure which enables Circle's ongoing education and outreach efforts. If you can join us, please register on our website, circlesanctuary.org, so that we know that you're coming. And our next Full Moon Circle broadcast will be on Wednesday, July 29th, in celebration of herbal charms. Please join us again then. And at the end of the month, from Friday, July 31st through August 2nd, we'll be celebrating Green Spirit Abundance with a festival on our sacred land. Selena Fox will be giving a Lugnasad Prosperity Charms workshop in person and online on Saturday, August 1st at 1 p.m. Central Time. We hope that you'll join us in honoring this first harvest festival at this midsummer time of year. Registration is now open on our website. Spark, we now cast our ritual circle.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm Reverend Spark, and I live in central Iowa. And here in central Iowa, we have a traditional regional circle casting that I am going to share with you. If you would please hold up your hand and imagine that you are able to reach out through the magical interwebs to everyone in this circle. And repeat after me. From my hand to your hand. From my heart to your heart. The circle is cast. Blessed be. Thank you. And over to Reverend Dia.
Tonight we celebrate summer magic. Hot asphalt, cicadas, scorching days are all part of summer magic here in the Deep South. So I light this candle in deference to our bonfires, bare feet in the grass, ice cream cone dripping with blazing fireworks and cookout magic. Welcome light. Here is Judith to help us all kindle our candles.
Thank you, Dia. I now invite you all to light and hold up your own candle flames in honor of the liberty that this country was founded on and stands for, as we pray that our democracy will soon return to the elemental principles of freedom of speech, and religion, as we celebrate this 250th anniversary of our struggle to be free from the rule of a mad king. Like Lady Liberty, Libertas, we hold these candles up for justice and equality for all. So mote it be. Amy will now tell us about A Midsummer Night's Dream. Amy? Amy, please unmute yourself.
Thank you. I am Amy Dove, daughter of Diane Sullivan, granddaughter of Elizabeth Dove, great-granddaughter of Margaret Sweeney, and great-great-granddaughter of Lucy Ann Molyneux. Hawe. I honor the unceded people of this St. Louis, Missouri area, the Osage, the Mississippian, the Cahokia, the Missourian. This is A Midsummer Night's Love Potion, suggested to us by Oberon, the Fairy King, in Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. I know a bank where the wild thyme blows, where oxlips and the nodding violet grows, quiet over canopied with luscious honeysuckle, with sweet musk and apple fragranced wild roses. There sleeps the fairy queen, Tatiana, some time of the night, lulled in these flowers and with dances and delight. And there the snake throws her enameled skin, and there grows weed wide enough to wrap a fairy in. And with the juice of this I'll streak her eyes and make her full of obscene fantasies. A magical midsummer night's love potion. Set out a handkerchief under the full moon to catch the dew, and mix blossoms from the wild thyme, oxlip, violet, honeysuckle, and wild rose. Make a tea by adding pure water and steeping it while it charges under the full moon. Wash your face in it with the early morning dew and call in your love, and it will attract. Try also making a tincture. Keep some of the dried wildflower mixture aside and cover it with at least a 90% or 90 proof alcohol. Take a couple of drops of this to call in your love every day. Miss Selena has some summer magic of 4th of July.
Thank you. Wow. It is a time for those of us in the US and for some in other parts of the world to turn our thoughts to Independence Day, as the 4th of July often is called in the USA. I think it's very powerful that 250 years ago, in the Second Continental Congress, people were gathered and decided to do the Declaration of Independence. And I'm fascinated by this, not just because of some ancestral connections to that time period, but because of freedom, freedom of many types, and in particular, religious freedom, that has been so essential to the core of the USA. I'm descended from people that came to this land because they were being persecuted for their religious beliefs. And I'm descended from some people who are already in this land who unfortunately also had some persecution because of their indigenous traditional ways. I am thankful that over the past 250 years that there have been advances and diversification of the many people, of many paths and many places that call the USA home. One of my own personal summer magic practices is on and leading up to the 4th of July, I work with an American icon that most people call Lady Liberty, and most people know about in the form of the Statue of Liberty that is something that greets people coming into New York, New Jersey waters. And in particular, in more recent years, people who are starting to settle within this country. Originally, this image was given, the statue was given to the USA by France. And the deal was that America needed to get its pedestal put together for this all to come together. Well, what some people call crowdsourcing, in the 1800s, Pulitzer encouraged a fundraising across the USA, and money was pulled together to get a pedestal for the statue, and it went up and it was dedicated in 1886. Many people see Lady Liberty as a secular image, and certainly she's become that icon not only in this country but other places. However, she actually is based on Libertas, an ancient Roman pagan goddess of freedom. And I work with her not only as a secular icon, but as part of my pagan spiritual practice, as a form of the divine. I invite you, as we move into this 250th anniversary of the founding of the USA. Yes, July 4th, 1776 is on this document that the statue has. To consider taking some time out to do some education for yourself around Libertas and Lady Liberty in her many forms, and to find ways of working with her, not only for personal freedom needs, but to uphold freedom in the USA. And for those of you tuning in from other parts of the world, call on her to aid you as well. She actually has become an international, interreligious, multicultural, multilingual icon and has appeared in all sorts of pop culture movies and in music and in art. But I invite you all now to join me in calling to Libertas to be with us. And this is my prayer for the 250th anniversary of the USA's founding with the Declaration of Independence, Goddess of Freedom prayer. Hail Libertas, Goddess of Freedom, Lady Liberty, we call to you, we honor you, we pray to you at this time of celebration of USA's 250th anniversary of Independence Day. Shine your guiding light of enlightenment, liberty, and love on this nation, the United States of America, and on this world, planet Earth, our home, and beyond. Guide us in manifesting and upholding equality, liberty, and justice for all. Stop governmental attacks on church-state separation. Stop governmental attacks on rule of law. Stop governmental attacks on human rights. Stop governmental attacks on life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness under the ill-begotten and false claim of religious freedom. Let true religious freedom for all, social justice, compassion, and unconditional universal love prevail, now and in times to come. So mote it be. Amen, Aho, Ashe, Namaste, Salam, Shalom. Blessed be. May the light of freedom be with us at this time, under this summer magic full moon, and in times to come. And let us do our part in upholding that light of freedom, and let it shine brighter, and let us remember the importance of religious freedom for all, and to work for that in present and future. So be it. Well, now I invite Meren to share one of her magical songs with us.
Thank you so much, Selena. And thank you so much for that prayer. It's so very important for us all right now. I wrote this song a couple summers ago, and it's a celebration of the summer solstice. This is called Midsummer Song. Opening my eyes on this midsummer morning, early dawn sunlight peeking through the trees, laughter of campmates floating on a cool breeze, excitement and joy at the thought of this day. Oh, hail the sun at midsummer, the old king resplendent on this longest day. Celebrate the goddess so verdant, the wealth sunshine, dancing on the soft waves. Dragonflies flit by as I gaze at the blue sky. The heat of the sun glistening on my damp skin. Oh, hail the sun at midsummer. The Holy King's coming, but he's so far away. The sweet taste of summer still rests on my tongue. Succulent gifts from the mother, fresh from ripening in the warmth of the sun. Greeting the sun on this midsummer morning, basking with joy in the warmth of his rays, floating on sunshine through this summer solstice. Remember the sweetness of this midsummer's day. Okay, and now Nathan is going to share a spoken reflection with us.
Thank you, Meren, for that lovely, lovely song. And thank you all for joining us here this evening. The summer season is talked about as a time of abundance in our pagan wheel of the year. The recently passed summer solstice marked the longest day of sunlight, and nearly everywhere in the Northern Hemisphere, we can feel the warmth and blessings of a summertime come to life anew yet again, in the forms of fresh food, flowering plants, and joyous moments shared with our entire community. Making the most of this plentiful offering of summer is a gift unto itself, one which we try wholeheartedly to embrace here tonight as we gather to share our time, our magic, and blessings with one another. An embracing of this summer abundance is the topic I wanted to speak on with you all this evening, so that we may share deeply together, not only in the ease of all that surrounds us in this season, but also in the process of how we make that abundance real for ourselves and for each other, even when it feels out of reach on our darkest days. So what is it that makes abundance? Most explanations or definitions would only leave us at the surface level of it all, hinting at the power that can be embraced when we move beyond the obvious and straightforward. What I want to do instead is to take this time to put us into a direction that may lead to deeper personal insights and ideas, things we can all take with us into our daily lives and communities, where they can flourish on their own time and in their own space to become that which we most need for our resilience within a difficult world. The presence of summer abundance is not a single objective fact that is handed to us out of pity for enduring yet another winter. It is instead a felt experience, a shared perspective, something which we must actively choose to embrace as both individuals and as a wider community. And it is in this frame of mind and body that everything mixes together, all the beauty and the hardship we face, in hopes that our small efforts might collect to form a world built on our shared abilities to foster meaningful change. In connection with that shifting of a beautiful living world that we honor here during this full moon time, we come together and realize and celebrate that the earth shows us through each season, each plant, every animal, that it is those who adapt that do more than survive. They are the ones who thrive. And in that same vein, we come together to try and embrace this true fulfillment of the summer season's abundance by living into a sense of adaptation, learning from the beings around us, caring for the particular needs of our present day, and offering each other intentional blessings and well-directed actions to carry us forward together into a tomorrow that has yet to come. In embracing this sense of adaptation as abundance, I hope you are able to take pleasure in our ability to change, our flexible connection to all that surrounds us. So take time to enjoy the little moments we come across every day, which show us each firsthand how to live in just such a way. Try staring in amazement at how the rabbit shifts their diet to the environment that surrounds them, or gawk at how the flower bends and grows vines to find an ever-shifting patch of sunlight. For it is in these small places of adaptation that we can all come to truly thrive. As we go forth into all that we will encounter, I hope that we try and witness the abundance of the world with this awe of adaptation. And as I leave you here today to continue on our circle, I'll end with the words of the poet, Wendy Vidlock. Change is the new, improved word for God, lovely enough to raise a song or implicate a sea of wrongs, mighty enough, like other gods, to shelter, bring together, and estrange us. Please, God, we seem to say, change us. Blessed be, may it be so. And now I return to the Reverend Selena.
Thank you, Nathan. Sacred forest, sacred wood, forest bathing, feeling good. A few words about going into forest environments in the summertime. Some cooler temperatures because of the vegetation. And at night, being in a forest can be especially magical under the full moon, watching light come through. Forest bathing, as it's commonly called, is a way of having the magic of healing in a forest environment for yourself. And I'd invite you to consider, wherever you may be, journeying into a forest is part of summer magic. At full moon time, during the day, and actually throughout the summer. And as you enter a forest, as you experience the forest, experience it with all of your senses. As you walk and move, have the sense of the land beneath you and the vegetation around you and above you. As you breathe in, experience yourself being part of this living ecosystem. Enjoy the smells, the aromas. The taste may even come to you in the air, listening to the sounds of the forest, feeling the energy of the forest, and attuning to the spirit of the forest. Spending time being one with this particular kind of ecosystem, recognizing yourself being part of the greater whole that is around you, and letting that be within you, not only throughout your forest connection experience, but something that you can return to with your imagination. I invite you to take a few moments now, and if you can, close your eyes or lower your gaze and imagine yourself within an enchanted forest, experiencing yourself, tapping into the summer magic of forest at full moon time. Imagine us all together in a great circle, celebrating the full moon, celebrating forest, celebrating our connection with nature. And as you return to the here and now, know that you can experience forest magic in many ways. And in addition to the magic of communing with the forest, an important magic is to preserve our forest and to do what you can to be aware of ways that you can support efforts for reforestation and for preserving the forest of many kinds that are part of our planet. And I invite us now to connect with Reverend Dia and chord magic.
Thank you, Selena. Greetings and welcome to Summer Magic Full Moon Circle. I'm Rev Dia. In the Deep South, we hide from the burning damp heat and do things indoors to keep us cool in the scorching days and nights of summer. Today, I wanted to talk to you about chord magic. For this presentation, I will be referencing The Crafty Witch's Guide to Chord Magic by Lauren Morris, which I just finished reading. First thing toward planning your chord is to get a length of ribbon or cord. The rule of thumb is you want twice the length of the desired final length to do your magic chord with. Of course, color magic can be applied to your choice of ribbon and cord. Then you want to pick some talismans to put on your chord. Small tarot decks can be used to bring specific energy to your chord magic that is well supported in the universal and consciousness. We had some members of our group print off cards from online or scan their own cards from their own deck and print those to use on the chord. Then you can craft a sigil for the chord from runes or magical alphabets. And then I bought, for a few bucks, some different talismans that came in a bag. It had some pentacles and some triple goddesses and some triple god and the god. And there were plenty to use again, even though everybody got a chance to take some. I was very sure that I wanted to do full moon magic energy for this chord, so I did it with my coven during our full moon. Morris is all about the astrological timing and gives guidelines for you to be that specific if you feel like it. But remember, intent is what is important, more important than anything. Intent and concentration. And a simple braiding technique will do. No need for something fancy. You might use an anchor point to keep the tension for you as you do your braiding. We found that the second toe was mighty good at this. Using the toe to anchor the threads around it and then slipping it off when it was complete really worked well for us. Others use bottles and jars. Just make sure the braid can be removed from the thing you use as an anchor, or you'll end up with a cord stuck on your water bottle. Just saying. While my coven made our cords, I found that as I braided it, I fell into chanting to myself words that related to the reason for my cord. My cord focused on emotional and mental healing and a literal movement from one place to another. I found myself chanting emotional healing, mental healing, moving from this place. Emotional healing, mental healing, moving from this place as I braided. This helped keep my concentration and focus on the reason I was braiding the cord in the first place. Some might like to use the By the Knot of poem. I actually did this after I braided it, and I used the by the knot to put knots into my cord. And if you've never heard it, it's by the knot of one, the spell's begun. By the knot of two, the spell is true. By the knot of three, the spell is free. By the knot of four, power is stored. By the knot of five, the spell is alive. By the knot of six, the spell is fixed. By the knot of seven, the spell awakens. By the knot of eight, the spell weaves the hand of fate. By the knot of nine, the spell is mine. You can also use small jars to put crystal and mineral chips in, or even sachets with herbs and attach it. I didn't do any of that to this one. Just if you're going to use incense or oils or brews, be sure you wax seal the bottle so that you don't have a mess later. Then you charge the cord with, you also add talismans to the end of the tail, which is what I've done. Whatever feels right to you. Then you charge the cords in any way that seems right to you. More suggest also leaving the finished cord under a full moon to charge, which is what I'm going to do after this broadcast. After charging, you want to carry the cord with you or put it in a place where you'll be reminded of its working. I put some bells on mine and I attach it to my work chair so that every time I hear the bells ring, I say, "So mote it be," then visualize the outcome I hope the spell will bring me. Lauren also gives instructions about deconstructing these spell cords so that parts and pieces can be reused and recycled. Of course, you can burn a completed spell as long as everything used is flammable and you abide by fire safety standards. Cords like this can be versatile and very specific. It doesn't require a lot of crafting know-how. If you know how to make a simple braid, you're good to go. I hope this bit of summer magic might bring you the intention, prosperity, and change you need. Now Spark will teach us a meditation chant.
Good evening, everybody. After our wonderful early June full moon circle, I was inspired to write this chant, and I would love to share it with you because it came from you. I'm Reverend Spark, and I'm a circle minister, and I invite you to imagine the rays of the full moon touching your body, filling your aura with its light, and imagine yourself as a moon. And repeat after me. I am a moon. I am the moon. I will wax. I am the moon. I am the moon. I will be full. I am the moon. I will be full. I am the moon. I am the moon. I will wane. I am the moon. I will be dark. am the moon. I will be new. I am change. I am the moon. I am the moon. I will wax. I am the moon. I will be full. I am the moon. I will wane. I am the moon. I will be dark. I am the moon. I will be new. I am the moon. I am change. I am the moon. I am the moon. I am the moon. Thank you, everyone, and I'll turn you over to Reverend Becky.
Thank you so much, Spark. Actually, I would really like to hear a midday poem by Reverend Steve.
Thank you all. And I'm going to be reading to you The Summer Day by Mary Oliver, accompanied by recordings of various insects I've made. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? The grasshopper, I mean, the one who flung herself out of the grass. The one who's eating sugar out of my hand, who's moving her jaws up and down, back and forth, and down, gazing around with enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down into the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the field, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Blessed be. And now back to Becky.
Thank you, Steve. So as I continue to explore my Slavic ancestry, I've been coming across a number of pretty interesting figures. And one that I had come across that I have been wanting to learn more and more about is a Slavic mythological figure known as Polyniца, or Lady Midday, Noon Demon, or Noon Witch. She appears as sometimes a young woman dressed in white, very beautiful. Sometimes she's shown as a young girl. And sometimes she's shown as an old, haggard woman who doesn't have a face but a skull that takes the form of her face. She is the guardian of the fields and protects crops and the land. She's in charge of the rhythm of agricultural life. And as someone who grew up on a farm, I was drawn to this part. She's in charge of helping the health of the farmers and the field workers. So stepping out of the heat, out of a field before it gets too hot in the midday is necessary. It's a time when you want to go back into the home, cool down, rest, rehydrate yourself, regenerate yourself, and then get back out there to finish the day's work. But according to Slavic mythology, if you don't do this, then you may come across the noon witch. And she'll come out onto the land and she can do several things to you. She can cause you to have a heat stroke because you're still staying out on the land. She could cause dehydration. She could cause death. She could cause it by cutting off your head with a sickle. Or she may play some games with you. She may stop to ask you questions about your farming habits and your crops, and you have to keep answering her until she disappears. And if you don't, so this all sounds very scary when you think about it. You want to make sure you're running into the house. I wonder if that was a thought that my Polish grandmother thought when she came in from the farm, working in the fields with my Bohemian grandfather. I know that my father certainly came in at noon every single day. I'm not sure why. Maybe he had that in him that he had to be inside. I think he just had common sense. But she's someone that I think a lot of us don't listen to because she enforces boundaries. And I think many of us have a hard time with boundaries, whether it's through our work life, with our family, and our friends. And what this Lady Midday does for us is that she helps us with balance, to balance work, to balance rest. She reminds us that a healthy community honors limits. Now, right now, where I live in the United States and South Central Wisconsin, we're going through some pretty intense heat. And so it's definitely a time where we want to be outdoors just for a small amount of the day and to make sure that we care for ourselves because extreme heat and humidity doesn't do anybody good. What I like about Lady Midday is that she shows us the power and the sacredness of pausing. That work must be balanced with care, or the land and the people will suffer. And that this pause or stopping to rest is actually a spiritual act, and that we can make a ritual out of it. So many moons ago, I remember a full moon circle where our high priestess, Selena Fox, suggested that we take some water and we bring it outside under the full moon and have it blessed. So I try to do that every single month. And tonight I'm going to take my Polish grandmother's cup. She was born in 1912, so this is probably from the 1930s. And I'm going to put some water in it, and I'm going to set it outside and have the energy of the full moon go into that water. And then I also have her old sugar container with a lid. And what I like to do each month is I pour the water into that and I leave it on my dresser and it cools. And at least once a day, I like to just take a moment and pause. And I lift up the lid on the sugar container and I dab some of that blessed water and I put it on my forehead and sometimes close to my heart. And I take a deep breath and I pause. And then I start the rest of my afternoon. So as we go forth, for those of us in the United States that are experiencing this extreme heat, maybe take a moment to do that tonight or at some point to take some water, have it blessed, Put it in a special jar. You can make it fancy. And then try to remember at least once a day to just pause and take some rest, especially in the summer heat. Otherwise, if you don't, and now we have Blackwillow Starling to bless us with some music.
Hello everybody, happy full moon. We are Blackwillow Starling. We're going to be playing a traditional song for you tonight. It's one that many of you will know in celebration of the summer.
Oh, the summertime has come, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love a bower by yon cool crystal fountain, and around it I will pile all the wild flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pull wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will range through the wilds and the deep glens say dreary, and return with their spoils to the bower, oh my dearie. Will you go, lassie, go? If my true love she'll not come, then I'll surely find another to the wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? Will you go, lassie, go? Will you go, lassie, go? Midsummer blessings. And now to Selena.
What a wonderful rendition. Many thanks, Nora and Michael. Healing work is something that we do at our full moon ceremonies every month. And I invite you to spend a few moments and call to mind planet Earth. And you don't have to watch much news to know that there's been flooding and earthquakes and heat domes and many intense things happening on our planet. Let's spend a few moments calling to mind planet Earth, our home, as we begin our healing part. blessings of healing and wellness to planet Earth, blessings of humankind, those in need, blessings of creatures, plants, ecosystems. May they all move into greater states of wellness, healing and wellness to planet Earth. And may humankind find better ways and soon ways to collaborate together for a healthier planet. Under this full moon time and in times to come. And I invite you now to call to mind healing needs for yourself, for loved ones. And I invite Chris the Bard to play some of his magical music as we meditate and imagine beams of healing light coming from the full moon to those in need, ourselves, our loved ones, and others. So be it. Thank you all for being part of our circle. And I invite Reverend Spark to release our circle as we conclude our time together.
Hello, everyone. I'm sad to see you go, but we will meet again. So let us reach out through the magic of the World Wide Web and imagine that we are all holding hands in one great circle around the globe. And repeat after me, from your heart to my heart. From your hand to my hands. The circle is open, but never broken. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. And in Iowa, we always go, woo!
Thank you, Spark. And thanks to all of the wonderful Circle Sanctuary volunteers who have been on this broadcast tonight. And thanks to all of you who have joined us live or who will be watching later. We hope that you join us again at the end of next month for our Herbal Charms Full Moon Circle at our Green Spirit Festival or for our Sacred Fire Circle in September. And for any of our podcasts throughout the month of July as we celebrate our country's 250th anniversary of independence. May we continue to have liberty and justice for all. Reverend Steve, would you now please tell us where people have been tuning in from tonight?
Greetings, all. So I'm going to take a dramatic pause and share a map that I've been collecting over the course of this broadcast. So let me just do that. Here we go. Notice it's flashed along the eastern line and Midwest with a few over to the west. We didn't get anybody outside of the continental United States this time. So welcome everybody, and blessed be.
Thank you, Steve. Please consider joining our community by becoming a member or supporting us with your donations, which you can do on our website, and where you can also find a wealth of nature spirituality information, the list of our weekly and monthly programming and podcasts, and register for volunteer days and festivals. And mark your calendars now for next year's Pagan Spirit Gathering to be held again from June 20th through the 27th, 2027. I'm so grateful to have attended the last 16 Pagan Spirit Gatherings. And since that first summer solstice festival, I've become more involved every year in one way or another with my beloved community of Circle Sanctuary. I volunteer in many ways and do what I can to support our outreach and education efforts because now, more than ever, our message of love, inclusiveness, and caring for all living things on our precious Mother Earth is so very important. Everything is interconnected, and what we do to the earth, air, and water, we do to ourselves and to all living things. So let's do what we can to help our environment thrive with joy in our hearts and for the love of this amazing gift of life that we've been given. Wishing you all bright and beautiful summer magic blessings on this full moon night. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.